Welcome to the audio of the non-religious spirituality book, Happy Soul, Hungry Mind, a modern-day parable about practical spirituality. Chapter 10. Can we see God? Displaying the excitement of a performer about to amaze his audience, Rishi said,
Travis, you ready for the big question?
Sure.
Do you know anyone who's seen God?
Travis looked sideways, not sure of an answer.
You know no one who's reported meeting God?
Travis struggled.
Nope.
Think about it. Imagine if someone was to meet God. How big a news would that be?
Huge.
You know, people portray God as living behind the clouds in space. But we know there's just galaxies in space. No physical evidence of God. The question is, why can't we see Him? Why haven't we met Him?
Rishi had a flair of a prosecutor in court.
I'll be darned. Never thought about it. If I meet him, I do have a few questions for him.
We all do.
Okay, so where's he? Why can't we see him?
I'll tell you. But first, let me share a few things. Say you have never been to the Himalayas.
I haven't.
If I am in the Himalayas and I call you to describe the scene in the richest, most poetic language, will you have the same experience as seeing those beautiful peaks with your own eyes?
No.
Okay, now imagine I'm at a Justin Bieber concert. He's singing really well. Can you get a feel for how well he's singing if I just text you and you don't actually get to hear it?
No, I need my ears.
Yes, you need the sense of hearing. If I'm eating a cheesecake and I send you a picture, can you experience it?
No, my tongue and the cheesecake must come into contact.
Yes. You need the right sense, the right tool to experience things.
I get that. And your point is?
Travis looked inquiringly. Rishi paused to build the suspense. He leaned forward.
What I'm about to tell you is one of the greatest philosophical points of all times and of all spiritual discussions.
You do love to dramatize.
Rishi's expression turned less exuberant. Travis blinked his eyes.
I didn't mean to.
That's okay. I'm not dramatizing or over-dramatizing. This, in fact, is so important. Is the underpinning of man's spiritual journey. The more we understand this statement, the more spiritual progress we'll make. Real progress as opposed to getting caught up in misinformation.
Okay, spill it. You're killing me.
I will.
Rishi pronounced.
Your mind is not the tool to experience God.
Rishi put his hands on his thighs and sat there as a king would sit on his throne, with an air of authority. Travis processed the statement.
Your mind is not the medium to see God. No matter how much you try, you will never see God through your mind.
What is the issue with the mind? Why can't I see God?
That's like asking why your eyes can't taste the pizza or why can't your tongue hear. There are different instruments for different purposes. Your mind is an instrument to engage the material world, not a tool for the spiritual world.
Travis took a deep breath and looked at the staircase to gather his thought.
People try to convince themselves they're seeing God, but they aren't because they are using their mind. You need the right sense to experience God.
Rishi sat up straight with an intense look.
In the field of spiritual science, this statement that we can't see God through our minds is as big as Albert Einstein's simple but most powerful physics formula E equals mc square.
Travis stared blankly. Rishi lifted his palm slightly.
You're probably thinking this man's full of himself.
Travis shook his head.
No, not thinking that at all. Is it really that important?
It is. It's like discovering the atom is the building block of the entire universe, or discovering that the earth is round.
Rishi gestured with both hands.
Truly understanding the fact that our mind is not the right medium to meet God is monumental.
Travis widened his eyes. Rishi raised his finger.
I wish more religious leaders would truly understand this spiritual truth so they wouldn't misguide themselves and their congregations.
Travis looked askance.
If not the mind, what is the right sense to use?
Travis was asking the most significant question. Rishi gestured wide with his hands and brought them together to touch his chest.
You can experience God only through your soul. Your soul is the handshake to God. Your soul is the conduit to God. The soul is the sense to meet God. The soul is the natural way to meet God.
Rishi closed his eyes. Travis leaned back and then perched forward. He narrowed his eyebrows, dissecting the proclamation.
But is soul really the sense to meet God?
Gently moving his head in a rhythmic fashion as if he was listening to melodious music, Rishi said,
Experiencing our soul is experiencing God. Our soul is the spiritual divine energy in us. God is the ultimate divine energy. When we experience the soul, we experience that infinite energy.
Travis analyzed carefully.
What if someone doesn't believe in God? Will they still experience God?
Very nice, great question.
Rishi did a thumbs up.
Belief in God is not a necessary condition for experiencing God. Isn't that paradoxical?
Rishi smiled, enjoying the play of philosophy.
You know why belief in God does not matter?
Travis shrugged. Rishi touched his forehead.
You remember I said God can't be seen through our minds.
Travis squinted, not making the connection.
Your beliefs reside where? They reside in your mind. Keep aside what your mind thinks and believes. Whether you believe in God is a matter of your mind. It makes no difference to your soul what your mind thinks.
Travis moved his hair aside.
I'm confused.
Rishi said in a comforting tone.
Okay, let me explain. Imagine I come across a cheesecake reviewers say is incredibly delicious. I go, I taste the cheesecake and realize it really is tasty. I message you a picture and tell you the cheesecake is delicious. Now, you have not tasted it, so you may or may not believe me, alright?
Okay, I'm with you so far.
But however, once you come and taste it with your tongue, you also experience the cheesecake is delicious.
That makes perfect sense.
Your belief or non-belief does not affect the taste of the cheesecake.
True.
If you had believed me, that would not have changed your experience. And if you hadn't believed me, that also wouldn't have changed your experience. Your tongue determines your actual experience. Beliefs become ineffective and immaterial in the presence of the actual experience. The utility of beliefs at that point is over. Beliefs can't color the truth.
Travis took a second. His face brightened.
I love that. I may or may not believe, but once I experience it, I will know.
Exactly, Travis, exactly. Your experience trumps any belief you might have.
If God is the truth, we'll experience Him through the soul, regardless of whether we believe Him or not. And if God isn't the truth, we will find that out as well.
Wow! The student has overtaken the teacher.
Rishi was proud of Travis. He got up and extended his palm out for a high five. Travis sprung to his feet and high-fived him. Sitting down, Rishi said,
Isn't that an awesome point?
Yep, that's very cool.
Rishi's face beamed with an intense glow.
When we experience our soul, that's our gateway to God. That's the only way to experience God. Every other way is fake. Every other way is false.
I would have never thought that every other way is false.
Yes, it is, because every other way involves the mind. Your mind can try to describe God. It can think it understands and comprehends God, but it can never truly experience God. All the people who try to tell you what God is or what God stands for, take it with a grain of salt, because they likely haven't experienced Him. Even the best, most articulate description is woefully inadequate in describing Him. Don't rely on any description of God. Instead, experience Him.
Wow, this is a big deal.
Travis felt a combination of exhilaration and intimidation.
It is huge. It is huge.
Rishi widened his eyes. Travis hesitated.
Is it?
Is it the truth?
Travis narrowed his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Travis. Absolutely. And when you experience it, you will know for sure. Billions of human beings don't see God because they're seeking God through their minds. It will never happen for them. That's why you never hear a report of anyone meeting God. They'll see an image on a potato or on a slice of bread or a shape in the clouds. That's not serious. God is not an image on some piece of bread. That's just man's limited mind trivializing God. The only and true experience of God is through the soul.
Well, can we lowly human beings truly experience this infinite divine energy?
Good question. Yes, we can. You have the ability to produce life. You need a member of the opposite sex, but together you can produce life. What a divine miracle.
Rishi threw open his palms.
The ability to create life is such a powerful, mind-boggling phenomenon.
That's true, but
Such a big miracle happens with such ease. In a similar manner, we all can access and connect with the infinite, connect with God. It is natural and achievable.
Rishi's face lit up. He was enjoying the discussion.
has anyone experienced that?
The true spiritual seekers, they have experienced Him.
Rishi waved his hand as if he knew them all and was proud of them.
Listen carefully to the ancient sages of India. Listen to the prophets and the messiahs born through the ages worldwide. Listen to the self-realizers and the nirvana achievers. Listen carefully to their words, my friend. They are describing the God experience. They all experience God through their souls.
Rishi slumped back into the sofa, relishing his own words, reliving a small part of the peace that the great seekers in history have experienced before him. Rishi closed his eyes.
They are the truly blessed ones because they fulfilled the ultimate purpose of their human birth. They fulfilled it. How beautiful, how simple. Connecting with your personal spiritual energy is connecting with the all-encompassing collective spiritual energy we call God.
Travis felt like someone who was watching the Super Bowl in the stadium for the first time. He could feel the rush, yet there was a feeling of separation because neither of the teams playing were from his city. Rishi, on the other hand, was experiencing the exhilaration of a home team victory. He could have been on cloud nine, at least that is how it seemed to Travis. Squirming a little, Travis interjected,
Hate to ask this question, sort of like poking a bubble.
That's no problem, Travis. Go ahead.
Rishi did an okay sign.
Go ahead and ask without any hesitation.
Emboldened, Travis asked a doozy.
Do you know if God really does exist? I don't mean to offend.
That's all right, Travis. No offense. I know this. Energy exists. And if I define God as all the collective energy, then God exists.
Yes, I hear you, but
Always a but.
Travis hesitated.
I'm just teasing. Go ahead. Ask your question, please.
isn't that a convenient definition?
Unperturbed, Rishi explained his logic.
Travis, don't seek God. Seek the truth. If you find the truth, you will find God. That truth, whatever it is, I might call it God and you might call it science or something else, doesn't matter. It will be the truth, and that's all that matters.
Travis did not find any holes in the logic.
If you truly find infinite happiness,
Rishi widened his eyes.
I mean really infinite, truly infinite happiness, will it matter if you call it the God experience or something else?
Rishi gestured with his palms facing upwards.
Enjoy and focus on experiencing the cheesecake. Why get caught up in names? The name is not the truth. Maybe they call cheesecake by some other name in Greece or Italy. Who cares? Focus on the taste. Focus on the experience. That's the truth. Focus on the truth.
Travis eased up, his body relaxed.
I like that. Focus on the truth. I really like that.
Rishi asserted.
God is the constant that never changes. Truth is the constant that never changes. Because it never changes, it will always be there, untarnished, uneroded, and brand new eternally.
The definition intrigued Travis, a faint smile on his face. Rishi paused and closed his eyes.
In my definition, truth is God, and God is truth.
Rishi backed off his usual authoritative voice as if he himself was lost and in awe of that statement.
If you find the truth, you will find God. That's our search for the truth.
Travis beamed. He had finally heard something he could wholeheartedly accept.
People can call God by different names, imagine him in different ways. That's okay. But the truth is what we seek. Truth is God. God is truth.
Travis stopped to let the statement sink in his being and then said,
I love that. That's actually pretty darn good, buddy.
Truth is God. God is truth.
Rishi was lost in his zone. The statement had asserted itself, and it seemed to Rishi to have taken over the room. Maybe not just the room, but had taken over the entire creation, the universe itself. Rishi closed his eyes, experiencing a glimpse of infinite space and time, an ecstatic feeling to leave the false, limited, changing identity and ego at the shore and immerse in the ocean of the changeless infinite. Rishi opened his eyes.
God isn't an easy topic to discuss in philosophical terms, easy to discuss in religious or devotional terms.
I'm cool with it now. I get it.
I have more thoughts on what is God. Not who is God, but what is God. It's eye-opening and challenges current notions. But I don't want to jump into that right now. Let's finish the difficult discussion of our hungry mind. And then, as a reward, I'll take you beyond the clouds to show you God in His full glory.
Travis wanted to say something about Rishi's flair for dramatization, but he let it pass.
All right, Mr. Spiritual Scientist. I'm really curious, but I'll wait patiently to see God's full glory. You realize He and I aren't on the best of terms.
I know, Travis.
Rishi looked away toward the windows.
So where does religion fit into all of this?
You sure you want to open Pandora's box?
Travis smiled.
Might as well. Why hold back now?
End of chapter 10. Can we see God? Takeaways from this chapter. Your mind is the wrong tool to find God. You can never see God through your mind. Your mind is an instrument for you to engage in the material world. It is not a tool to access the spiritual world. You can never see God through your mind. Your soul is the only channel to Him. Your soul is the handshake, the conduit to God. Do not rely on a description of God. Instead, experience Him. Whether you believe or not does not affect the truth. Beliefs cannot color the truth. Do not search for God. Search for the truth. If you find the truth, you will find God. Truth is God, and God is truth. Why can't we immerse in the universe and dissolve our false and finite identities in the infinite now? Why do we wait?